Now don't get me wrong. You say if you're looking at public documents, you went and looked at the public documents to find information, then that's legal. It's not ethical, might not be right, but it's legal. If you go and look up those documents and spread it online and spread them around, I do believe the situation changes a little bit. So, I mean, there's a difference between me going and looking up, for example, your docs, which personally I don't care enough to go and look up someone else's docs, and getting them and using them for a legitimate purpose. It's public documents. However, if you were to get that and you were to spread that to everyone in your neighborhood, I'm pretty sure that you're legally liable for that. That steps beyond things at that point. Now, you made an example somewhere in there. If you leave your door unlocked and someone comes in and steals your stuff, it's fine. No, it's not. It's still trespassing. It's still stealing. I don't care if you left your door unlocked or not. It's your house. It's understood as your house. The insides of your house are understood as your property. Someone goes in there and does whatever. At the very least, they're trespassing. And, I mean, you know, what can you say about that? Now, you've said that you could bet money that they found it publicly somewhere. I wouldn't bet money on that. And, I mean, I've said as much in my other video as to why. Now, people with the private eyes, people with the tabloids, these things are technically illegal. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're, by law, illegal. You're not supposed to be able to do these things without just cause. Now, America's unfortunately got a double standard on this. For the celebrities, we need to know everything about them. And so, paparazzi, tabloids, what have you, invade their privacy on a daily basis, quite illegally, and yet it's allowed because people need to know. It's just ridiculous. A private eye goes and investigates someone else. Something that if you did personally, you could very well be charged for it. And yet, it's considered okay. Again, double standard. Security cameras watching our every move, fine. Security cameras in the restroom, not fine. It's considered private. So the actual handling on it and the laws very much are at odds with each other. And one thing stays constant during all this. No matter how it's handled, regardless of whether it's illegal or not, it is very much unethical. And public documents online, you know what? If it's fine to look up everyone's public documents online, if it's supposed to be public information for everyone to know, then every single person on the internet should go by their real name, with their address, and their phone number. If it's really okay, then that should be the status quo. But it's not. People prize their anonymity. I guess that's how you say it. I don't pronounce things well. They value their privacy. Now, in cases like the celebrities, I blame them for creating that double standard. If they took a hard stance on it, and they said, screw the paparazzi, screw America's need to know, this is wrong, then you know what? I don't think it would happen anymore. I think it would very shortly be shut down. By the same token, if people didn't support private investigators, if people cracked down on private investigators, and had them used for methods that had reasonable cause, then I believe that things would be cracked down on them. However, when you have double standards running rampant, the law gets used and abused. Now, as you said, criminal records. Yes, criminal records are public for a reason. That person has a past history of doing things. And everyone should know about this, if they so look it up. That's why it's there. They've committed crimes in the past. They have a track record that's made enough of an impact that if you're going to hire this person, you should know about it. If you're going to live with this person, if you're going to live around this person, you have the right to know about it, because they've gone to the point to where they've broken the law. Now, that doesn't mean that you should know about what they do in their private life. That doesn't even mean that you should know their name and their phone number and their address otherwise, unless specifically required for the job or such, which that makes sense. But for the average person to know it, no. There's no need. And I guess that boils down to reasonable cause. And it's really ironic that law enforcement officers are going to have to follow reasonable cause for the things that they do and their searches and everything, and yet paparazzi and normal people can ignore these with impunity. And like I said, it's America's double standards for you.